Hi there, welcome to I Alone Fly Tarot. I'm going to do a tarot card reading for Virgo energy, and the first cards we have out is the Moon card, and the reason it came out is because of the Three of Cups. This could mean that you're listening to your intuition because your foundation is operating from a foundation of love, and because you love yourself, you're trying to listen to your intuition. And you might be trying to listen to your intuition about people who try to create illusion in life, who try to emotionally manipulate you. People who could be secretive. Some of you particularly could be dealing with a Pisces or a Cancer. You know, Pisces, well, the moon is, this card is a Pisces card, but the moon is also ruled by Cancer. So, and the Three of Cups is Cancer. Cancer energy is about love and home and family. You don't want to be in a relationship with people who just create the illusion of being loving. You want to be in a relationship with other people who listen to their intuition, because our intuition wants us to grow and mature to our full potential and be all that we can be. And if we resist kind of listening to our intuition and we keep our emotional, intuitive nature buried, well, then what are we going to make decisions in our life about? We're going to make decisions more out of fear or insecurity or pride or ego or emotional defensiveness, creating the illusion of being loving, but really keeping our emotional, intuitive nature hidden. So just creating an illusion. And the next card we have out is the King of Pentacles. And the reason that came out is because of the Four of Swords in reverse. You're listening to your intuition about people in the world who really are who they say they are. You could have learned how to pay more attention to your intuition and trust your intuition because you've had some painful experiences in the Four of Swords that you've had to heal from in the past. And you're taking grounded, stable action in your life. You've grown and matured yourself from those life experiences. You might know some people in the world who haven't healed yet. Because the Four of Swords is about healing, but if it's upside down, you're coming out of healing and other people have refused to heal. And, because in order to heal, in order to live our life differently, we have to see the truth about some things, about ourselves, about why we might create illusion of being loving and stable and grounded and mature and nurturing, but really not being that. We can all wear a false mask and pretend to be whatever we want to be in the world, but is that the truth? Are there people in your life? The King of Pentacles, I view that as Capricorn energy. It's kind of like how people harness their Capricorn energy. Do people create the illusion of being, well, I guess we'll go back a step. Shadowy Capricorn energy is represented by the devil, and we can all harness that energy within ourselves, more aligned with our more worldly, prideful, egotistical, shadowy, more just aligned with the world, even where we make our life more about money and materialism and status and image. But people create the illusion that their high vibe Capricorn is having freed yourself from your more worldly nature, your egoic nature, and you're enlightened to the truth that it's about love, and you've done that work within yourself to not align with your more shadowy energy of, just being fearful or insecure or manipulative or bossy or controlling or self-centered. You might know some people in the world, and the King of Pentacles, it can be male or female. It's just how people present themselves to the world, and we all present and take action in the world in masculine energy because our emotional, intuitive nature is like our hidden realm that people can't see. And so as you're moving forward in your life, you're listening to your intuition about people who might be a boss at work, a place that you might work at, or a father figure, because the King of Pentacles can mean that too, or just people in the world who might present themselves as being very stable, grounded, abundant, free of their more egoic nature. But if your intuition, you could be looking for a partner. You could be in a relationship with someone, you could have a job, but it's trying to listen to your intuition about the people in your environment as you move forward who has done the healing and seen the truth and healed from past pain and heartbreak and self limiting beliefs and stuff to the degree that you have, because we all have layers of our fear and insecurity and self limiting beliefs and stuff to shed throughout our lifetime. But when we're at a certain stage in our life, we want to be with other people who are at that kind of same stage in life. Like, oh, I don't act bossy and controlling anymore because I learned that doesn't work out. I'm not selfish and greedy and prideful and egotistical in relationships because I've learned that didn't work out. I've learned to love and believe in myself because then I can be really someone who's nurturing and supportive and nurturing in a relationship because I have learned lessons in life and I'm not acting that way in a shadowy way. So you're listening to your intuition about who does present themselves as stable and grounded and really has healed from past pain and heartbreak, and who are ready to move forward in truth and love and like justice and fairness and balance, and who's just trying to present themselves as being that way in order to work together with you or be in a friendship with you or be in a romantic relationship with you. Okay, tell us what's next for Virgo energy. The Devil. And the reason that came out is because of the Two of Swords. The whole thing is we want to listen to our intuition about people that we work together with cooperatively, emotionally. Because if we're going to invest in kind of coming out of a period of rest and we're going to want to invest in something, we want everybody who's on board with us moving forward in our life to be willing to face their own fears and insecurities, because that's what the devil can mean. Whenever we move forward in life in a different way, it's kind of like if you looked at life as video game levels that you have to learn to overcome, and depending on what age group you're in, you could look at the bottom level as like, when you were young and in high school, and then we go from like 18 to 21, and then we go from maybe 21 to 25, and there's obstacles we need to overcome to master that level in life, to grow and mature ourselves to truly be on that level, because otherwise we're pretending that we've left behind those more immature ways of being, which can be our more self-centered, egotistical, prideful, immature, impulsive, reckless kind of, to a way that it's unloving. And we have to be willing to face the next level of challenges. There's always going to be challenges as we move up in life, basically, and move to new levels of life experience, because there's always layers of ourself to shed. We're like a multifaceted, we have many layers to our fear and insecurity. If we're going to grow to our full potential, a King of Pentacles is only one aspect of ourself to overcome. That's kind of like our 3D realm and our material realm and being more grounded and mature. But, I don't know which ones you've already conquered, but, we have to master making decisions from our heart and mastering our emotions. That would be in the cup suit. And we also have to master our mind and being in control and realize that we do have control of the thoughts we choose to sit in and believe and burp and feed every day. Are we going to, it's just what thoughts you're going to align with. And then we have our more passionate, creative nature. We have lessons to learn in all of them, because the end goal of our life, I think, to grow and mature ourselves to our full potential, is to master the 4 elements and have learned lessons we were meant to learn from our heart, our emotional nature, our worldly nature, our thought nature, our creative, inspired, passionate nature. And then we become like an emperor and an empress, and then we become like a high priestess and a hierophant. Otherwise we could stay as a page and stay young and kind of immature. And so this shows that you have maybe mastered an area of your life and you're wondering if other people have learned lessons in life to grow and mature themselves about how they invest their time, energy, and effort in the world. What emotions do they invest in? What thoughts do they invest in? Do they invest in kind of like unproductive thoughts that aren't healthy to a balanced life or a balanced relationship. And I think you're willing to face your fears. And again, with the Two of Swords, you're listening to your intuition. And as you listen to your intuition, as you move forward in your life, in your job, in your career, in your relationships, you're going to come across people who could be, the devil can talk about people who are attracted to you. And you're going to listen to your intuition about those people, and you might come across people you're attracted to, or jobs that you're really inspired by, or, things in life, organizations, friendships, whatever. And we have to be willing to face our fears and trust our intuition about it. And there's also going to be people that we're going to come across as we move forward in our life, um, that try to stop us from growing to our full potential. Because if we keep like growing and maturing and shedding layers of our fear, our self-limiting beliefs, there's other people who aren't willing to do that. And they want to also be in relationship with people. And especially if you're stable and grounded and nurturing and loving, and you're not operating out of like pettiness and jealousy and envy and competitiveness and stuff like that. People want to be in a relationship with you and work with you or employ you, but are they someone who's willing to do that same work? Are they someone who listens to their intuition? Are they someone who has learned past life lessons, who has grown and matured themselves and healed from past pain and heartbreak, that are attracted to you because they see you have done that same work? Or are they people who just see you as like, oh, look at this person. They're stable, they're grounded, they're nurturing, they're loving. Yeah, I want to be in a relationship with them, but I just want to indulge in a relationship with you. And I might be in denial, don't want to see the truth that I'm kind of all about me, my lust, my greed, my pride, my ego, my image, my status. Some people might want to be in a relationship with you because it would make them look like they're really victorious and successful just being in a relationship with someone like you who's very grounded and stable and nurturing and loving. But their motivation for being in a relationship, they don't want to see the truth, but the truth could be that they're motivated and inspired to be with you for those reasons and not really from love. Because if they're in shadowy energy, they don't want to do love, because if you do love, you get hurt. And some people, it is all about them. And we just have to realize your own fearful, insecure nature doesn't want you to see the truth and listen to your intuition. Your fearful, more insecure nature and codependent nature and more immature, indulgent, lustful nature would like you to stop living your life that way and being stuck. Because then your more shadowy nature can run your life. And your shadowy nature doesn't care if you end up heartbroken, in the gutter, or whatever. Because we have this dualistic nature within us. We live in a dualistic world. We kind of have within us planted the seeds of the knowledge of good and evil. Our shadowy nature wants us to be more impulsive and reckless and indulgent and immature. That kind of what makes that aspect of our more immature nature happy. And your more intuitive, loving nature that wants you to get the justice you deserve, wants you to keep listening to your intuition and aligning with your more emotionally loving nature, and not to let your own shadow nature, your own want for power or lust or greed or attention or love, or, our more codependent nature, to stop us from getting our divine inheritance. And there's other people in the world that would want to be the one to indulge in a relationship with you, but they don't ever plan to bring that dream into reality of being like a just and fair and open and honest and loving and respectful and whatever person in a relationship with you. Some people just create the illusion of being loving. They create the illusion like, oh no, I've grown and matured. I'm not selfish. I'm not greedy. I'm not prideful and egotistical. I'm not self-centered. I've healed from my past pain and heartbreak, but they haven't. And you're going to listen to your intuition about loving, encouraging people want you to become all that you can be. And again, the caveat to that is some people want you to grow to all you can be because they want to go along for the ride. That they're not going to match your energy. They're not going to be like on the same page as you. It's because of your stability. It's because of your potential for abundance. It's because you look very successful in the world. It's more like wanting to be in a relationship with you because of their pride and ego and their lust and their greed. Tell us what else is coming up for Virgo. Oh, another way this could be read, this is kind of interesting. I typically see the King of Cups as Capricorn energy, but it is representing Earth sign energy, so it could represent your Virgo nature. And Pisces is your opposite sign, opposite on like the astrology wheel from you. And I think we have lessons to learn in all the zodiac signs, kind of going out on a limb to learn more about being in our emotions or listening to our intuition. Then we might have times in our life where we go out more in our worldly, more focused on worldly things. And then we might go out in the world and we go through a phase where we might explore more things of intellectual or from our mind, and then we might explore things from our more creative, passionate nature, whatever. So it's just kind of interesting. Your more emotional nature might want you to stay more connected in with your emotions and your intuition, because we're all like on the spectrum. And if you're a Virgo, you might be more tilted towards your Virgo worldly nature than your opposite sign of Virgo, and staying more in the middle between the two so you can easily use like with all the zodiac sign traits and characteristics, the goal is to really harness in the middle, and love is what helps us stay kind of unified. Otherwise, we could be in scattered energy. There could be a part of you, intuitive, or even your emotional nature, could want to get in a relationship. Your more grounded nature could be like maybe that you feel you haven't healed yet. And you want to make sure that you aren't going to take kind of impulsive and be tempted by your more emotional nature, and you're maybe trying to be more grounded and slow steady steps to be careful about what you invest in. So this could be kind of the battle within yourself. I don't know. Let's go with the next row of cards. We have the Emperor, the High Priestess, and the Eight of Pentacles. And the reason those came out is because of the Ten of Pentacles. This is what comes after the Devil. If you can keep like balance between your emotional nature and your intuitive nature and your worldly nature, and being practical and grounded and taking the lessons that you've learned and maintain balance, you can overcome anything that tries to get you stuck and confuse you about the truth. Because this is what you want. You want to be in long-term, stable, grounded foundations. The Ten of Pentacles is Virgo energy also. With people who harness high vibe Aries energy, which again, the Emperor is when any of us, male or female, take action in the world, not letting just our emotions run our life, not just letting our passionate nature run our life, not just letting our emotional nature run our life, not just our worldly nature run our life, but taking all those things into consideration. It's kind of like, I've graduated from all these different elements of, I went off and lived my life and I kind of followed my heart. And then I went off and I kind of, did this and this. It's to learn all those life lessons. So the Emperor is harnessing all four elements. It's kind of like the top boss of it, that I'm not going to let my heart or my mind or my passion or my lust or my fear or my, mind run my life. I have learned lessons and I'm going to make executive level decisions. And I am going to listen to my intuition and be very grounded and stable about who I invest my time, energy, and effort into. I am willing to face my fears and insecurities, and I'm going to listen to my intuition from a foundation of love for myself to get my divine inheritance. I am going to make good decisions in my life making like executive decisions in my life. And I'm going, and the high priestess is about Cancer Pisces energy. I am going to emotionally this is like your emotional nature. This is how you take action in the world. I'm going to make good decisions from my foundation based on the lessons I've learned in life and listening to my intuition, again, in my Virgo energy, about who and what I invest my time, energy, and effort into. What emotions do I indulge myself in? Do I sit in sad emotions? Do I sit in disappointed emotions? What thoughts do I sit in? We all have the free will choice to choose which emotions, which thoughts, what people, what things we invest our time, energy, emotions, our attention, our love into. And you're not going to let people who are selfish or greedy or prideful or egotistical or immature, who don't want to see the truth that this is the goal, that we are all supposed to learn lessons in life to be an emperor in our own life, to make executive decisions within our own life. And then when we get into relationships with others, in a workplace, in a relationship, in family and friendship groups and organizations, we're supposed to make grounded, loving, nurturing, encouraging, just, fair decisions. And we listen to our intuition instead of our fear, or I want to be bossy and controlling, or I want to make it all about me. How can we have a stable, grounded relationship if other people are being shadowy? They sabotage and work against the relationship. And you're going and wanting to be in relationship with other people who do that, who in their Virgo energy put in work and effort into their own foundation to make those good decisions and listen to their intuition, so that you can keep moving forward in life, with other people who grow and mature themselves, other people who get out of their ego, who get out of their emotional defensive nature, who get out of their more immature indulgent nature, or that it should be all about me nature. I'm the most important person in the foundation. It should be all about me. Everybody should make me the most important person. The devil, can represent our worldly nature and just shadow energy in general in the world. And loving energy, Cancer and Pisces, the intuitive loving realm that exists in the world, wants you to have your divine inheritance. Because if we think, well, I'll just tell you, how would shadowy people who are in a shadowy Virgo energy harness this energy? They hide the fact that they are more aligned with shadowy Cancer energy. I like to create the illusion that I'm loving, and I harness shadowy Pisces, Cancer, Capricorn, Libra, Capricorn, Aries, Cancer, Pisces, Virgo. People who harness more worldly focused or more shadowy Virgo energy, their long-term goal isn't to grow and mature themselves. They're not maybe motivated and inspired to self-reflect, to meditate on the truth of some of their own issues that they need to deal with. They maybe don't want to meditate on, we either choose love, to be just and fair, authentic, honest, open, nurturing, supportive, encouraging in a relationship, or we don't want to live our life that way. Why do some people not want to live their life that way? For some, it's because they tried it before and it didn't work out and they gave up on their dreams. So now they just operate more from pride and ego and defensiveness. But they want to be in relationships, so they create the illusion that they're loving. They create the illusion that they're grounded and stable. They're free from their shadow nature. They've healed, but it's a lie, and it's more about them indulging in relationship. I want to find someone else who might also be in denial of the truth, who also has maybe given up on their dreams, who might be in their fear, their insecurity, or whatever. And I want to get in a relationship with them, and they want to harness these energies in a shadowy way. They want to look like a boss, like they're powerful, like they've got it all. But hiding the fact that the reason they're getting into those jobs and those relationships is because Their long-term goal is to be the King of Pentacles. I want to look like I have it all in the world, but I don't want to do it from love. I get hurt doing that. I'd have to be, I'd have to get out of my ego. I'd have to do work to deal with my own fears and insecurities and my selfishness or my greed or my self-centeredness. And that takes work and effort. I don't want to do that. But I want to be in relationship with people so it looks like I've done that work. You know, if I'm with someone who's really loving and nurturing and stable and grounded and mature and nurturing, I look like I won the jackpot. But it's more because of their ego or their image, or because you're a nurturing, loving person, and who doesn't want to be in a relationship with someone like that? The only problem is that eventually, as time goes by in the workplace or the relationship, when you're putting in work and effort to bring the real dream into reality where people are what they're supposed to be, you know, more giving of themselves, not acting out of pride and ego, or eventually you realize that, oh, this person was hiding that they were more driven by the image and the status and the money and the materialism, and eventually the truth comes to light. You know, so, and if you've been in relationships with people like that before, where the truth was revealed, no longer needing to meditate on the truth because you have learned the lesson you were meant to learn. You did go within to gain that wisdom. And you don't want to repeat another relationship like that. So you have done the work within yourself to learn those lessons. You're really connecting in with your intuition, and you're ready to move forward and face your fears, because you're not going to let other people in your past who might have presented a facade, who could have hurt you, you know, and you're not going to let shadowy people stop you from believing in your dreams. And you're going to keep taking, you know, in Aries energy, that's fire energy of being bold and brave and creative. And it's actually, you know, I deserve to be in loving relationships. I deserve to be in relationships with people who can communicate their feelings. I deserve to be in relationships with people who are self-disciplined within themselves. I deserve to be in relationships with people who have put in work and effort into growing and maturing themselves to be operating from a stable foundation. Because if we want to build a stable foundation with other people, everybody has to be building their foundation from a foundation of love. I love myself. I have let go of my past and worked through reconciled myself with the past, so I'm not making decisions out of fear or insecurity, you know, and I've grown and matured myself. I've seen the truth about aspects within myself that I needed to let go of, that are, you know, again, letting go of our more immature, indulgent, selfish, greedy, prideful, stubborn, envious, jealous, petty, competitive nature. I need to grow up. And I want to be in, and I've done that work, and I'm doing that work, and I put in work and effort to work through my issues to make good decisions in my life. And other people just want to be in a relationship with people, and their shadowy Aries is more like, and the devil, it's all about them. I want to look like I've got it all. I want it to be mostly about me. I want to be in a relationship with people who don't listen to their intuition, because then they'll like ignore their loving, intuitive nature, and instead they're choosing to be in denial of the fact that I'm selfish or greedy or bossy or manipulative or full of myself or stubborn or whatever, you know, something shadowy. Negative energy is always trying to stop people who have great potential in the world from bringing that dream into reality. It is spiritual warfare going on within us, and there's other people in the world who have aligned with their more loving, intuitive nature. They do this work within themselves, and there's other people who have aligned with their more worldly nature. It's all about looking like I'm successful. It's all about the money and the image and the status and being indulged in a relationship. But I don't really want to be authentic and loving myself. I just want to create the illusion of that so I can get in relationship with people who like are those things, so it makes me look like I'm that way. And eventually it comes crumbling down anyway. And, you know, we can all get in relationships and find out people that weren't who they say they were. And, you know, we had lessons to learn from that life experience. And part of it can be to free ourselves from our own illusions that we had about love. And the thing is that not we can tend to view the world as other people being like we are, and there's a lot of people who aren't. There's a lot of people out there that are really defensive to being hurt, so it is all about presenting an illusion. There are some people that out there that are really insecure and they never do work to build up their own foundation to get out of their fear and their insecurity. There's some people out there in the world that are very competitive, and they can be very competitive in relationships, and they're the boss, you know, and you don't, maybe they don't show that right away. And sometimes it doesn't happen until they can lock someone in a relationship. And then in the Two of Swords, they think you feel stuck. And because of your pride and your ego and the image and the status, that you won't tell the truth and leave their ass behind. Because that's the whole thing. We can get caught up in our ego and our image, and we don't want to look like we made a mistake and blah, 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 blah. You know? And that's what the devil hopes to do. I hope to get you in a relationship with me, and I hope to have you stuck. And that's when my true nature might come out more. That I am kind of bossy and controlling, that I am kind of insecure, that I am kind of self-centered and immature, you know? I'm the boss in this foundation. I hid the fact that I was more motivated by money and materialism and status and image. I am not someone who listens to my intuition and puts work and effort into gaining insight and wisdom about why I do what I do. Let's go see. What's some advice right here between going out in the world, taking action in the world, about the devil? The High Priestess reversed because of the Ten of Cups. Well, the High Priestess, for one, again, it talks about our emotional nature. You probably have really sat back and observed some people, and the truth has come out. Either about people that you thought, either you did have in your family that you thought were happy family people in a relationship with you, your siblings, your parents, you know, your children, whatever. The truth has come out about someone in a family that might be kind of bossy or controlling or manipulative. You could even know some people who harness this energy in a shadowy way, and some of those people are hiding that they want to be a partner to someone because they're trying to emotionally confuse people about the truth that was revealed maybe about a family. But because they still want to be in denial of the truth, and they're still in their ego or their competitive nature or their prideful nature or whatever, if they can get in a relationship with the world, or for some of them, particularly a Capricorn, or someone who seems to have all those things of the world, because that's kind of what the devil's about too. You know, kind of like the devil promises you the world. It'll be great. You don't have to do work. You don't have to work on your own foundation. You don't have to grow up and mature yourself. I can give you the world. We can have all the things that the world says. They'll give us that stamp of approval and say, we view you as successful. Look at all these things that you have. Look at the image and the status and the power and the money that you have. But they never have to do this work, and some people don't want to do the work. And if it's a workplace, what was hidden has been revealed, and your intuition is telling you that the people or the job that you're at is not who they presented themselves to be. They could have presented themselves again as people who try to work together with people cooperatively, that everybody's grown and matured, that, you know, we've let go of the past, we're ready to move on, you know, that we try to make these good decisions and whatever, and you should work here. But, you know, if you already are working there or you've already been in that group, you already know the truth about what makes some people happy. You know, and some people are happy being bossy and controlling. Some people are happy being in denial of the truth. I'm not selfish. I'm not greedy. I'm not bossy. I'm not controlling. Look at me. Look at these things of the world I have. How could I possibly have all these things? Or maybe even get in a new relationship, because the King and Queen of Pentacles are the only married suit of the deck. And they could want to create an illusion to get in a new job or a new relationship because they don't want to meditate on the truth and put in the work and effort. So they want the Two of Swords, and the Moon card can be trying to emotionally confuse people about the truth. Almost like, well, if I go get in another relationship and that relationship works out for me for a while, well, I certainly couldn't have been the problem in the old relationship or the old job. You know, I couldn't have been bossy and controlling and manipulative and blah, 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 blah. It's like, yeah, you could have been. You know, anybody can suppress their true nature for so long as it serves them to do it. And eventually their true nature comes out again. And that's what people who are in shadow energy don't realize, that if they create an illusion, people who put work and effort and listen to their intuition and are not in their ego and are willing to learn lessons in life will they'll work with people who are kind of like this and try to encourage people in their life. You know, again, if it's siblings or friends or whatever, you know, they'll try to offer them resources to get out of their fear, to get out of their insecurity, to get out of their self-limiting beliefs, because we love these people in our life, right? But there comes a point in time where if the other people aren't doing the work within themselves, and they don't ever listen to their intuition, and they keep kind of listening to their more shadowy nature kind of running their life than their more loving intuitive nature, we end up realizing they're kind of happy living their life that way. If they were motivated to put in work and effort, they would. If they were motivated to grow and mature themselves, they would. But when we keep indulging people who are in shadowy behavior, they have no incentive to change. You know, you're indulging them being that way. So there might be some people who you realize lack insight, who aren't very self reflective, who maybe haven't learned many lessons in life, but they seem by worldly standards to have it all in a way. Because again, that's what the devil can mean. I have all the things of the world that you could want. I'm trying to tempt you to be in a relationship with me. Just quit listening to your intuition. Just indulge and be happy being in a relationship with me. But the thing is, the devil lies, just like our fear and our insecurity and all those things lie. It tells us, oh, you don't have to do that work. Just wallow here in your sadness or your fear or your insecurity or your self limiting belief. You don't have to do that work. It'll all work out fine. You know, get in a relationship with me. It'll work out fine. Just don't listen to your intuition. The thing is, the devil lies. They create the illusion that they've grown and matured themselves, that they operate from a foundation of love, but the devil has their back turned on making decisions that are best for everyone involved. They make decisions that are best for them, and they hide that their long-term goal is the status and the image and the money and materialism. And if you've already moved on from someone like that and now you're going back out in the world, some of those same people might try to come back in your life because they know you're all the things you say you are. They know there's going to be other people who want to work with you and be in a relationship with you, more grown and mature people than them. And they don't want other people, they want to like be that person without really having to be that type of person. But they'll try to create the illusion that they are. Tell us what's coming up for, let's get a fresh deck. What's coming up for the people who choose to harness high vibe Virgo energy, who overcome their fear, their insecurity, people in their life who try to emotionally manipulate them or tempt them and confuse them. The truth, the King of Swords, about people who are in a mental prison about love. You know, the people that are, you're going to speak your truth. I think you're up in a mental prison about love, or at least you're going to speak the truth to yourself. You know, you're going to speak your truth. You're going to take action in your life in a just and fair and balanced way. And if other people, because the King of Swords is also represented by Libra energy, to get your divine inheritance, you have to stand up for yourself. You have to speak your truth. You have to cut people out of your life and ways of being and ways of thinking, you know, that try to tempt you to get less than you deserve, to live more from your mind than your heart. And it's like, no, I'm going to give a lot of thought to what is love and what isn't loving. And I choose love, and I'm going to take action in love. And if I'm going to be in a relationship and work with other people, they have to be people who align and give a lot of thought also to what is loving and what isn't loving. Not people who think they're the boss and that they don't have to work through all their fears and insecurities because they think however way they live their life they think is just and fair. And if they create illusions, if they're secretive, if they're manipulative, if they're selfish or greedy or whatever, they think it's just and fair. It's kind of like we have different truths. We focus on different things. I focus on truth and honesty and justice and fairness and love, and you seem to more about think you're the boss. Kind of like the devil thinks they're the boss over love, right? And all it does is put people up in a mental prison because they can kind of be more bossy and controlling, and if they think something's just and fair, it's just and fair, but it's not. So what are the people who are in a shadowy Virgo energy? What do they not see coming? They might right now be trying to manipulate someone if it's not you. If you already moved on from this person and you're making good decisions and listening to your intuition and healing from those type of relationships, they're looking for someone else. Someone else who might have a lot of stability, abundance, attractiveness, loving, warm, giving, who maybe has some issues they haven't healed from. Because I think that's why when we haven't healed from some of our self-limiting beliefs, when we haven't learned to stand up for ourselves, when we haven't learned to invest in our own foundation and love ourselves and believe in ourselves and grow and mature ourselves, the devil is prowling around like a lion to find people who haven't meditated on the truth. And the truth is that we're meant to love and believe in ourselves and to treat ourselves with kindness and compassion and respect. And when we treat ourselves that way, if someone else comes in our life and they're not treating us that way, then it's a big kind of like, this is different, this is weird. You know, if we sit and belittle and berate ourselves every day and kind of insult ourselves, well, then if the devil comes along, it's like, oh, well, you just chimed into the chorus that I say in my own head every day, you know? And then the devil kind of comes into our life to help, I think, to help us learn to love and believe in ourselves and to listen to our intuition. You know, the devil can use, or God can use all things for his good purposes or their good purposes. And the devil's kind of like a hot burner. If you put your hand on something and it hurts, we're supposed to take our hand off of it. Not like, oh, how long can it be where, at what temperature can it be where I can keep my hand on it? You know, why do we want to put our hand on a warm burner? You know, why are we attracted to that? Are we punishing ourselves? Are we not loving ourselves? Why would we stay in an unhealthy relationship, an unhealthy way of being? Probably because we have yet to learn to love and believe in ourselves. And we'll always have people coming into our life trying to tempt us to not align with loving and believing in ourselves. And then they can indulge in a relationship with us, being manipulative, being controlling, being bossy, whatever. Tell us what the shadowy people don't see coming in their life. Oh, and also, as you move forward in your life, the very people who thought that they could manipulate and control you, that you wouldn't love and believe in yourself, to do this work within yourself, to heal from your past pain and heartbreak. Why? Probably because they've never done it. So since they've never done it, they didn't think you would do it. Those people who thought they were the boss, that they control you in a way, those people are now up in a mental prison because you love yourself. And they thought, because again, when people are in relationships, they can be open, honest, loving, just, fair, all those things. And some people are like, I don't know if I want to do that, because then I would kind of have to grow up and mature myself and deal with my issues. And I'd have to be more open and honest and just and fair and loving. I think I have a better idea. In my pride and ego, I think I'm going to be maybe secretive. And I'm going to do some things that will emotionally confuse my partner. And then I'm going to do some things, and I'm going to do all these things to confuse my partner because they have this conflict, because they love me. It's kind of like using your love for that you have for them against you. I know they love me. I know they'd like to keep putting in work and effort to make this relationship work, because I think as human beings, when we have friendships, are in relationships, we're in jobs, we would like those things that we've already invested in to work. And we can put a lot of work and effort into trying to make them work. And they love that. That's right. You just keep putting in work and effort to make this work. And I'm going to keep doing what I do. And eventually you kind of listen to your intuition as telling you, I think this person is emotionally manipulating me. I think I'm being very nurturing and supportive and like just and fair, and I'm not acting out of petty and jealousy or competitiveness and insecurity and everything. But they seem to have some issues they haven't healed that is causing them to be kind of toxic in this environment. And again, everybody had free will. When I get up in my head, what do I choose? What is my path? I'm going to be open and honest. I'm going to put work and effort into my own foundation to deal with some of my issues, because I want to. I'm motivated and inspired to do that within myself, because I have the same dream as the people I'm in relationship. And some people are like, that does take work and effort. I would have to self reflect. I would have to meditate on the truth. I would have to be more just and fair. And I think instead, I'm going to try to get my partner who wants me to move forward in love and justice and fairness and character and integrity. I'm going to take a risk that they won't love and believe in themselves enough. And if I'm like selfish and greedy and prideful and unloving and unkind or whatever, I'm going to take a risk that they're not going to love and believe in themselves to move on. And they'll decide to do the relationship the way I want to do it, which is where I get to be in my shadow nature. I get to be kind of immature. I get to be kind of bossy and controlling. I get it to be more about me. Because my partner or my friend or my work partners don't love and believe in themselves to believe that they deserve to have their dream come into reality. Their fear and their insecurities or their passion for me or their love for me has tipped them so far out of balance that they're no longer listening to their intuition. And we can all do that in friendships and relationships and workplaces. But eventually it becomes too unhealthy, because the thing is, when some people are acting poorly in a relationship and we kind of indulge them being that way, it's like any addiction. I want more. I want more. This isn't enough. Or, it needs to be more about me. You need to make it more about me. You need to give up less of your dreams. You need to make it less about you. It needs to be all about me. You know? And eventually you see that you can't ignore the truth anymore. You deserve to be happy, and you speak your truth. And that's when the other people are like, oh shit, I made a mistake. But yeah, there's consequences for our actions. And people moved on and decided to work with other foundations. You could be in a new job, you could be in a new relationship. You're no longer maybe dealing with this person anymore. And yeah, their gamble didn't work out the way they thought it would. So now they probably got their eye on someone else. It's like, okay, who can I go find that has the status, the image, or whatever, the money, the materialism, who's grounded, who's loving, who's stable, who maybe doesn't know the truth about me? And maybe I can tempt them and play on their fears and their insecurities or whatever, and keep them in denial of the truth of who I am, use my sex, use my charm, use my charisma, use my looks, use my money, my power, whatever, to get them to stay in a relationship with me and move forward with me in shadowy Virgo energy, where my long-term goal is for me to be where it's all about me in a foundation, and stay in, and hopefully they'll stay in the relationship because of the image and the status and the codependency, and they won't put work and effort into their own foundation and start listening to their intuition. What do the people who harness shadowy Virgo energy right now, what do they not see coming? The Ace of Cups and the Nine of Pentacles. That you high vibe people love and believe in yourself. You offered yourself a cup of love. 2, in your Nine of Pentacles Virgo energy, to become emotionally independent of them. Just like you offered yourself love to know your worth and value, and you put in a lot of work and effort within yourself to love and believe in yourself, to be very grounded and stable within yourself, to be independent in the world. They didn't see that coming. And also, as you're moving forward, there's going to be other people that want to emotionally invest in you. And there's going to be other independent people in the world who are also independent of their ego nature, their fearful nature, their insecure nature, their petty, competitive, materialistic nature, who want to move forward in love with you. And those are also the people you're going to invest in, because you're all people who are motivated to grow to become all that you can be, instead of like these people who let their fear and their insecurity or their self-centeredness dictate their life. And what they also don't see coming is they might have manifested what they thought they wanted. They want people to be in relationship and to stay in relationship with them because of their money or their looks or their sexuality or whatever. They're using their things of the world, not their loving, authentic nature, to try to get people to get in relationship with them. They better watch out. The devil's coming for them to teach them some lessons, because they haven't been listening to their intuition, and they have some truths they need to see. And somebody's going to offer to get in a relationship with them because of those things of the world that they have. And they might get in a relationship with someone who's kind of just like them, right? If people had loving people in their life and they basically like rejected them, I don't want to work with you, I can't manipulate you, you won't let me be bossy and controlling with you, I want to go find someone else to get in a relationship. Well, when you reject the loving people that are in your life, it opens the door to all these third parties to come into your life that are happy that you're single, that are happy that you have these looks, that you have this money, that you have this whatever. There's more than enough people out there willing to get in a relationship with them for those reasons. And the whole thing is to find out, for them to find out, is this your truth? Really? Is this your dream relationship? People who are codependent, people who, also could be clingy and materialistic or whatever. Really? Is that the type of people you want to be in a relationship with? They might initially think it's everything they thought they could want, because the person who might make them an offer is someone, or the person they make an offer to might reciprocate their offer, but the person who might be reciprocating their offer is, well, if they're just a shadowy one, what they don't realize is they're making an offer to someone who knows their worth and value and is going to listen to their intuition, and the same pattern is going to happen over again. Or they'll get in a relationship with someone who's like themselves, and then it will be an unhealthy relationship for sure, right? Because both people are getting in the relationship because I'm fearful, I'm afraid, I'm insecure, I'm selfish, I'm greedy, I'm manipulative, I'm materialistic. And the loving people in my life, I didn't want to work with either because they wanted me to grow and mature. Well, now we're going to have two people that are in denial that they're kind of selfish and greedy and bossy and controlling. Some of them might stay in the relationship, though, because if they're both motivated to create this illusion and they both have a lot of fear and insecurity of putting in work and effort, or they're just driven and motivated by the world, it might seem like their dream relationship. And that would be a just and fair relationship for them to be in. If they're kind of all about being in a relationship, creating an illusion, manipulating people, they deserve to be in relationships with other people who are caught up in that same illusion, who are going to equally emotionally manipulate them. It's an injustice for people who are like that to be in relationships with people who are loving and just and fair and authentic. It's an injustice. And that can also be maybe why certain people were tempted by things in the world, because the divine knew that this person wasn't the person who is supposed to be in your life. That you are meant to overcome this, to love and believe in yourself enough to invest in your own foundation, to stand up for yourself and speak your truth and work through your own self-limiting beliefs to boss your life up, because the divine's got a plan for you. Other people have already given in to their shadow nature, and they shouldn't be in your life. So, there you go, Virgo. I wish you peace, love, and joy, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.